Hello everybody, New Manchester here, back with another video, and I am in the backyard of my house. Um, as you can see, there's two trees in the backyard. They're both Bruce plum trees, and these Bruce plums are really good. Um, my mom makes some jelly out of them, and I just like to eat them the way they are. And well, I got to be careful because, there's some worms will get all over. Worms will get into them, and also birds are pecking them to get the worms out of them, and squirrels are grabbing them to eat them. So yeah. Speaking of squirrels, there's like a ton of squirrels around here, lots of them, and there's rabbits, foxes, and deer. I remember like at 4 in the morning, there was a big herd of deer roaming around. I mean, when I used to work at TJ Maxx in Longview, Texas, and these big herd and on my way to work. I mean, at 4 in the morning, I saw like a big herd of deer. I think it was not 4 in the morning. I think it was like 4:30 or probably after 5 in the morning. Yeah, I had to get up real early to go and clean up the store as a janitor. I saw a big herd of deer. There was a big herd of them. And when I drove by, like they didn't like scurry and run away. I mean, they didn't do any of that. Also, whenever I was driving on the highway, I saw something in the road, and I stopped, and there was a raccoon eating something in the road. So I honked the horn, and the raccoon just ran away. Anyway, I want to stop on that, and I want to talk about this. Yesterday, the day before me making this video, all the high schools where I live, they're all holding graduation ceremonies. And the class of 2019, everybody was all the kids all the high school kids who are age 18 are graduating. I mean, they're wearing a cap and gown, and they're walking across the stage and grabbing that piece of paper, aka a diploma, and going and sitting back down. I mean, when their names are called, they get up and they go and receive their diploma. And I look at that as just nothing. I mean, that's nothing to me. Like, and my sister attended the graduation of one of my cousins who I don't know and never heard of, and they're not gonna know me, and they're not gonna have anything to do with me because, well, they're just like everybody else in America, antisocial, don't want to have anything to do with you, don't care if you have the same last name as them. And people in both my mother and my father's sides of the family are like this. And going back to graduating from high school, and it's like this. I mean, the education system in America is a joke. And, the education isn't that great, and that's why a lot of Americans are dumb. I'm not gonna say all Americans are dumb. I mean, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag here in America. You have stupid and you have smart. And so yeah, I'm one of the smart crowd, but I have a learning disability. But anyway, them, I mean, these people who graduated in the class of 2019 and other classes in the past year and in future years to come, I mean, they're uneducated. They have lower levels of intelligence. I mean, they're just drowning in their ignorance and stupidity. And it's really funny. I mean, it's like, for instance, I mean, these you got police officers, and a lot of them aren't that smart. The only thing they can make up in is doing the police procedures, doing their job and using their training to do their job, to do their jobs, And overall, they're not that smart. That goes for firefighters. That goes for people in business, and lawyers and so on. Like, I mean, and is what really gets me is like, like, for instance, I mean, I ran into this guy on YouTube who commented on my video that I posted, which is a message to Winston Wu. His name is Stephen B, and he's a typical person from Texas. And I hear him talking. I see the words that he used when he talks to me. And it's like this, like he thinks he's so highly intelligent, but at the same time, he's ignorant, and I try to make friends with the guy, and he just like he just ignores everything I say and just talk about what's my handle on my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get the Woo's website, and why you're interested in Winston Wu, and you just bash the man. I mean, he bashed Winston Wu, and he's talking about going to Winston Wu's website. Then he accuses me of confusing him. But when I ask him a question, what are you talking about? What's my handle? I mean, you talking about my YouTube channel? And then he says that you're confusing me. And and he just doing all this because it goes back to this comment that all these comments I gave to Martel the Cool, who subs to me, and I'm telling him about how Texas is, and Stephen B saw the comments and states that he don't know what part of Texas I live in, and he talks about Texas is a diverse state, and Texans are nice until they get into their cars. He's referencing the road rage thing. And in those comments, I said to Martel the Cool is about how Texas is. Texas has the highest uninsured rate of people who have no health insurance. I mean, and a lot of things I said about Texas. And Stephen B is blind and he doesn't see this. I mean, and he lives in the same state as I live in, and he doesn't see what I see. I guess he just pretends like, a lot of the problems that I'm talking about Texas doesn't exist. And there's a lot of people like him who are like this in Texas. And, I just don't want to I feel that I just don't want to try to talk to these people anymore, because they're just a waste of time, and they just make you angry and get you all upset, and I'm not gonna waste my time talking to people like him, because going back to the education system in this country, people like him, even though he uses very highly educated words, but deep down inside he's ignorant and stupid, and he's just drowning in his ignorance and stupidity. you know, going back to graduating and you know, it's like this, in America, when those kids graduate from high school, when they hear their name called and they walk across that stage and receive that piece of paper from some old man or some old woman who really doesn't give a rat's ass about them, when they get that piece of paper, they are officially in the bubble. They're officially in the bubble of antisocialness, cliquishness, and don't want to know your neighbors or meet people or start up a conversation with them, and just be in fear and paranoia and think that everybody's out to get them. I mean, and yeah, that's what they have in their minds, and before they graduate, they have that in their minds. I mean, and that goes back to Nicholas Cruz, who went on that mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, because he couldn't find anybody to talk to, and make friends and start a relationship and make friends and form or cement a friendship with someone. He couldn't do that because people he went to school with didn't want to talk to him, didn't want to have anything to do with him. That drove him mad and crazy and drove him to do that. And not talking to people and just being in the bubble and not associating with people and just minding your own business and not talk to anybody unless it's business related. That's unhealthy, and that's not good for your health. I mean, we're human beings. We're meant to talk to one another. I mean, when we talk to each other and when we form friendships with one another, I mean, that's good for our health and that's good for our mental health. But, in brain dead mainstream America, that doesn't mean any that just seen as just whack job lunatic talk. And yeah, and and graduating from high school just doesn't mean anything. I mean, you got that piece of paper, I mean, and you have it for so long. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it helps you to get a job, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean nothing. I mean, and I went to school. I didn't learn a thing. I didn't want to learn anything. All I wanted to do is just play around and do things that'll get me in trouble, and that's it. And I was in a special education class for all my life, and I never got out and didn't try to get out, and I didn't want to overcome what I was born with. So after I got that diploma, after I graduated from high school and got my high school diploma, I was in the bubble. I was alone, and I got cursed out by a guy on the phone who accidentally called my house, and I apologized to him, and I kept calling him. I apologized to him in the last call on that. He said this to me: "Fuck you, you goofy bastard," and hung up. And that made me cry. That broke down and made me cry. Also after I graduated from high school, my dad just went behind my back and just put me on disability. I mean, receiving Social Security disability and getting food stamps. And my dad could have done something with me. He could have educated me and could let me learn something, And it's like this, even though I have this learning disability, if you keep teaching me, I'll eventually catch on and learn something. But my dad didn't want to do this. I remember telling my dad this after he taught me, after he just stopped teaching me how to use a checkbook. And I think on the first attempt, when he told me how to do it, and I said something that he felt that it was all wrong, he just gave up and said that I'm not going to teach you this This is too important. This is too important. And I'm afraid that you might forget. You might keep writing out hot checks, hot checks. You might get arrested and get jail time. And I told him this, well, if you keep teaching me this and keep teaching me this, I mean, I eventually will catch on to this. And he just sat there with this big grin on his face after I said this to him. And he wouldn't teach me vehicle registration. He would let me do vehicle registration because I didn't know how to do it. So I lied to him and told him I know how to do it. So he stood back and let me do vehicle registration. And it's like this, putting on a registration sticker, a vehicle registration sticker on the windshield of a car that I had. Okay, I put it on. He just went nuts and started pointing all over the place and telling me to keep smoothing it out, keep smoothing it out. And then when I took the registration paper where the registration sticker was on, I took it and took it to throw it away. He stopped me and told me not to throw it away and put it in my glove box, and it doubled as the registration piece to that vehicle registration sticker that stuck on the windshield of my car. And you know, a lot of people where I live know how to do this, and I explained to them, like, how do you do it? And they talk like they don't know how to do it. And it just goes back to them not knowing anything because of the education system. You know, and a lot of people where I live are extremely uneducated, and they are. And they are, you know. You know, and all of this, you know, my dad not teaching me anything and just keeping me in the dark on anything and just doing stuff for me because I'm unable to do anything for myself. And I haven't been to a grocery store in a while. Like, I haven't been in a grocery store at all. I mean, the last time I've been in a grocery store, like, after the day that I graduate, like there were days, lots of days after that I graduated. I mean, I have never set foot in a grocery store. And you know, and also I can't do jury duty. I can't serve jury duty because of what I was born with. So yeah, you know, and all this just made me angry, you know. I went back and forth with my sister on this, and I went back and forth with my sister and my father on this, and they told lies, you know. They think that I'm not, they think that they know that I'm going to forget and I'm not going to remember what they told me. So one of them told me that stuff like this, like, okay, like for instance, okay, I'm going to be going to a community center where I'm going to be around a bunch of old people where I'll just play games and that's about it. And this is from this thing that I'm on, which I'm not going to say. I'm going to be going there and going to be just playing games. And my dad told this lie and said that one of my cousins who worked at Walmart, who has a family, he has a wife and he has children. And this is the same guy that ignored me at the family reunion, which is on my father's side of the family. And I told my dad about this. Can so and so go there? I mean, and my dad said, yeah, he can go there too. But wait, I mean, he works at Walmart and he works full time. And he has a family to raise and a family to take care of. He has a wife and he has kids. Like, why in the world would he go to a place that I can go to? I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. You know, it's like this, you know, and on top of that, my dad took me to see all these therapists. I mean, all these shrinks, and none of them never helped me with my problem. I it's like this. I get angry and lose it because of what my dad's put me through. You know, keeping me in the dark on everything and not teaching me nothing. You know, and I remember I went to get my teeth cleaned at the dentist, at the dentist. And there was this hygienist. Her name was Sarah, and Sarah was dyslexic. And I was telling her about, about my experiences of going overseas and going to other countries, and she went and told my parents that I'm really smart and I'm really good at history. My parents heard that and they didn't care at all. 'Cause it's like this. Me being good at history doesn't mean anything to them. It's doing financial things, and I struggle at financial things, and they're not gonna let me do any of that. So yeah, I mean, I really don't care about graduating from high school at all. I don't care about attending a high school graduation because, well, I don't have any friends who have I don't have any friends who have children who are graduating. So I really don't care, Cause what's the point? I'm not gonna be some fat, overweight old man going around saying yippee hi so and so graduating, and nobody not gonna give a rat's ass about what I think. Because if I attend these graduation ceremonies, people are not gonna talk to me. They're not gonna have anything to do with me. I'm gonna be alone. I mean, if I go to a graduation ceremony, I'm just there to sit there and just watch people who I don't know walk across a stage and getting a fucking piece of paper from some old ass man or some old ass woman who don't give a rat's ass about them. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're uneducated or not, or they disabled. I mean, disabled people are just hit very hard, like with this, like people with Down syndrome or people who are mentally retarded, who have mild mental retardation. I mean, they don't care about them. They just hand them a diploma and just kick them out of the school. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny going back to abortion. I mean, you got these Republicans who say that they care about unborn life, and they want that life to be killed through abortion. I mean that life. I mean, when that life is born, and that life is that life is born with a disability. I mean, they wouldn't care about them not learning anything and struggling to learn, and they just they don't care about them getting a diploma, getting kicked out, and when they were born and after they're born, I mean, when they're children, they're just gonna just turn around and just cut programs and things that they need to survive on. I mean, it just shows to me that the education system in America is a joke, and the country as a whole, the United States of America, is a joke, is a crumbling, decaying pile of garbage. And that's all it is. And that's all it is, really. So that's all I gotta say in this video. And I'll show you these Bruce plum trees. I'll show you. I mean, what I'm gonna say, what I'm trying to say is, I'll show you these plums on these Bruce plum trees, which are Bruce plums. I'll go ahead and show you these before I end this video. Let's see. It looks like they're getting ripe. Let's see. Think of. Yeah. Some of them are kind of rotten. Yeah. Yeah, some are real high, and I have to get a ladder to get up there and like pick some off. This is one of the other pump. This is one of the other Bruce plum trees. I mean, this one's been cut down by my sister because, well, it hasn't been growing any plums. And you can see like there's some leaves. It's growing some leaves and branches. It's just basically a tree stump. And here's another Bruce plum tree, and this one doesn't have any plums on it at all. You know, get some fertilizer sticks and stick them near them. I mean, they'll grow a lot of plum trees. I mean, see, I remember my dad had some fertilizer sticks and stuck them near these trees, and they just grew, and they just had like tons and tons and tons of plums on them. I mean, we had so many plums, we didn't know what to do with them. We had to like give them away to people. I mean, we kept some, we gave a lot of them to other people. So yeah, I mean, and you know, and I'm gonna say something. This is very unhealthy and disgusting. I mean, my mother and my sister like to pick green tomatoes when they're green. They like to pick green tomatoes, chop them up, put cornmeal all over them, and deep fry them, and pull them out of the deep fryer and eat them. That is unhealthy, and that's just downright disgusting. I mean, hey, Captain Brandon, what do you think of that? I mean, I think that's unhealthy and disgusting. I mean, picking green tomatoes, chopping them up, putting cornmeal all over them, and put them in a deep fryer and deep fry them and pull them out and eat them. And speaking of that, I'm trying to like eat healthy. I'm trying to get away from all this unhealthy junk, like foods that are high in cholesterol, high in fat, high in sugar, high in salt. Like, yeah, foods that have like high fructose corn syrup. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm trying to, so I want to I want to get away from that stuff and just eat fruits and vegetables, drink water, drink Perrier, carbonated mineral water from France, south of France, good stuff, and try to eat like lean meats and like exercise. I have an exercise routine that is, I just lift weights, not lift weights. I start out doing 20 sit-ups, 20 push-ups. I run on a treadmill, and I lift 2 center blocks with a shovel. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing that lately, but I'm back to doing that right now. Yeah. And these are the center blocks I use to lift them. And I lift them with this shovel right here that you see right here. Yeah. So anyway, high school graduations don't mean anything to me. I mean, I don't give a damn about high school graduation. I mean, I mean a batch of Americans who graduate from every high school across the country, who walk across that stage in their cap and gown after their name is called, and they grab that diploma and they grab that piece of paper and screw off, and they get into and they hit that bubble. So yeah, you know, and kudos to Doc G07, who I sub to. He went to college. He went back to college after he served in the military, and he graduated. And I commented on this video on the video that he did when he was in his cap and gown and talked about, I graduated. Now what? And I congratulated on him. You know. And I went to college, and I didn't do so well because because of the lack of education that I got from the high school that I went to. I actually didn't go to the high school that I was supposed to go to. I had to go to another school because I was picked on badly by kids in junior high, and I was at this other school since I was in junior high, and I left when I was in high school. I had to come back to the school that I was supposed to go to graduate, and it was to graduate, and it was kind of weird that I'm graduating from a school that I even never went to. And my dad told me this lie that you were part of that school. How, if I'm part of it, then I should be going to it. But why I'm going to this other school? I'm going to another school because I'm picked on. And yeah, and I'm going to school. I'm going to this school because I can't go to my real school because I was picked on badly there. Yeah, and he's telling me this lie that I'm part of this school. And I remember one time when I was going to this school, it was called the ABU unit. It was like miles and miles away from the original school that I was supposed to go to. I mean, I got something from the school staff and the principal at the real school that I was supposed to go to. They said they're gonna let me come back, and they said they're gonna let me come back, and they'll have someone monitoring me when I'm there, attending the classes there. Because I was a troublemaker, and I got into a lot of crap. And that's why they said that. They said they're gonna let me go back one day. Okay, the day came, nothing happened. I was still there, and they lied to me. And they let one guy who went to school with me there, they let him go back because he was part of that school as well. They let him go back, and they won't let me go back. I mean, there was some bullshit behind that, And it was, and that school, that ABU unit school that I went to, and my real school that I was supposed to go to, both of those schools suck. They suck. I mean, one of the worst schools I've ever went to. I've ever went to. Yeah. Yeah. 2 license plates in the window of this storage house. See the license plate on the left? I mean, that tells you where I'm from originally. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, don't want to go. Yeah, don't want to go too over on this video. Let me go in this video. Anyway, high school graduation is a joke. And you know, last night, the day before I made this video, I think I said this. I don't know. I went to this park last night before I did. Yeah, on the day before I on the day not the day before, but the day after the day I'm making this video on. Yeah, there was a high school graduation going on, and you know, a lot of cars were there. Like, it was at this park. It was called Driller Park, and you know, it's a baseball park. It has a parking lot, big parking lot, and it has it has a path that goes around it, and south of it is a RV park, and it's in Kilgore, Texas, and it's located in 2 counties. I mean, the county line runs through the area that it's located at. Okay, one part is in one county called Gregg County. The other part is in a county called Rusk County. And the graduation ceremony was like east of the park. And I could hear I can hear some guy talking on the microphone, saying everybody's names, you know. And I listened to it. It just made me sick to my stomach. And I said to myself, you know, I mean, these people are brain dead. I mean, people like Nicholas Cruz, who went nuts because he couldn't find no one to talk to, couldn't make any friends because people there didn't want to have anything to do with them. And these people who are graduating from high school, and the teachers, they don't have a clue of why people like Nicholas Cruz do the things that they do, because of how toxic and brain dead and zombie like they are. That's the problem. You know, I mean, and I just shook my head, you know. I'm gonna say this. Fuck high school graduation. Fuck the classes of every year and the future years to come in this country. Fuck all of them, and just, you know, fuck them, you know. You know, living overseas, going overseas is better. It's way, way better. I don't need to see I don't see a gang of motherfucking shrinks, therapists. Fuck that shit. You know, and that's just a waste of time and a waste of money and a waste of your life. You know, some guy from Germany commented on one of my videos, telling me that Americans are the dumbest people in the world. And I commented back to him. I told him, yeah, I like the comment. Americans are dumb. They are drowning in their ignorance and stupidity. And Americans are a mixed bag. Some are smart, some are stupid, and the education system is a joke. And yeah, and yeah, and he gave me a like on on my comment. So yeah, so I think I ran it. I think I talked long enough on this video. Hope it's not the same thing. Hope I'm not boring any one of you. So yeah. So yeah. If you like this video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. If you want to sub to me and you like my videos, you like my content on my channel, go right ahead and hit that subscribe button. This is the new Manchester saying this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Oh yeah, I just want to add one more thing to this video. There's a lot of cheering and people's names were being said during that graduation ceremony near that park. And, all that just makes me sick to my stomach, as I said so previously. Yeah, I mean, it's a joke. I mean, graduation is a joke, and yeah. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.